Pickles. Beloved sandwich accompaniment seen on burgers the world over. Some pickles are spicy, some pickles are sweet, but all pickles come from a legacy over 4,000 years old. And pickles can be just as useful to you today as they were back in ancient Mesopotamia. Let me explain. Let's start with a basic question. What is a pickle? Simply put, a pickle is any food that's been preserved by pickling. Most people think of cucumbers, but you can pickle just about anything. Pickled eggs, pickled herring, pickled lemons, even pickled pig's feet. So now that we know what a pickle is, let's talk about pickling methods. There are 4 main types of pickling methods in widespread use. The 2 oldest methods, both from around 2400 BC, are brine pickling and vinegar pickling. Brine pickling uses salty water, or brine, to encourage fermentation. Over time, the sugars in the food are converted to lactic acid, while the salt keeps harmful bacteria from growing. Vinegar, meanwhile, is already a fermented product. Vinegar pickling is simply submerging the food in a vinegar solution, which keeps the environment bacteria-free and infuses the flavor of the vinegar. There are pros and cons to each method. Brine pickles have more probiotics and a more complex flavor, while vinegar pickles tend to retain more of a crunch and are shelf-stable. But it's important to remember that all types of pickles need refrigeration once opened. The third common type is a subset of vinegar pickling called quick pickling. Quick pickling, also known as refrigerator pickling, came about in the 20th century as a streamlined way to make pickles. The key difference from vinegar pickling is the lack of heat treating. Heat treating, which I'll talk more about in the video on canning, involves submerging the sealed jars in boiling water. Like fermented brine pickles, quick pickles require refrigeration. The last type of pickling we're going to talk about is oil pickling. Oil pickling originated independently in both the Mediterranean and the Indian subcontinent, relying mostly on the local abundance of olive oil and mustard oil, respectively. This method relies on either sun-drying or salt curing before sealing in oil. I'll be going in depth into both drying and curing in later videos. Oil itself isn't a preservative, so this method can have a higher risk than others. So after all that, you're probably wondering, why not just buy pickles from the store? Well, you can, but pickling was originally designed as a way to preserve food, and you can still use it to reduce food waste. It's also a fun activity you can do with kids. Pickles are great for your gut health, as are all fermented foods, and it's a preservation method that doesn't diminish nutrients. Well, I hope this video has shed a little light on the humble pickle for you. If you're interested in making your own pickles, I'll link to a couple of videos in the description. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe if you're interested in learning more with me, and remember to always look towards the light.